Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity, and today we're going to talk about chronotype, which is basically your preference for how you're wired for staying awake and productive throughout the day. And generally, there's a couple different patterns, but they really break down into four, the most common. The first one is the lion, which is the early bird. These are people that get up early and go to bed early, and it's about 15% of the population. The bear basically follows the sun, so up with the sunrise, in bed with the sunset. It's the largest chunk of the population, about 55% follow this pattern. The wolf is the night owl, and this pretty much describes me exactly. Don't really like to get up before 9 o'clock, and it's not unusual for me to be still up productive at midnight or 1 o'clock. Makes it really nice for me being self-employed because I can kind of generate when I see patients. It's about 15% of the population. And then we have the dolphins, who are the insomniacs, because dolphins don't really go into a deep sleep. And the insomniacs certainly have their own challenges with health, but it's been somewhat accepted that because we are not nocturnal creatures, we are not designed to be up all night long, generally following sunrise to sunup or sun up to sunrise is probably how our ancestors lived, because they didn't have any lights or anything to go by. So the wolf pattern, the night owl, has some particular health challenges with it. And in this study, looking at the nurses' health group, which is some 65,000 nurses followed over an extended period of time, they did find that when looking at behaviors like diet, physical activity, alcohol intake, and BMI, that the night owls were 54% more likely to have some of these bad behaviors, and 21% more likely to be diabetic. So these are not good things that have a tendency to follow those lifestyle awake patterns. And that was when they compared them to the early risers, to the early birds. So if this happens to be you, to a certain degree, that's the way you're wired, and it can be hard to change that. But what it means is that you need to counterbalance that with better health choices. That means that making sure that you're exercising. That's not an option anyway, regardless of what time you get up or don't get up or go to bed. You should be moving and exercising, so balance that out with that. Sleep. Make sure that you are getting 7 hours of sleep per night, is generally 7 to 8. Personally, if you're a night owl and the sunrise comes up early, I'm a big proponent of sleep masks. It makes sure that you don't get woken up when the sun comes up, and can help you sleep the amount of time that you need to. A good quality diet, that goes without saying. And one of the other things that becomes relatively important is, if you are going to eat at night, sticking with low glycemic foods at night. The higher glycemic foods affect the lymphatic system in the brain. It's our housekeeping, janitorial service. And if we have carbs at night, it can actually affect how much your brain clears out these remnants. So just some things to consider if you do happen to be wired as the wolf. So as always, I'll post a link to this particular study in the description. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.